Hi, this is B from Sorcery Soap. Today I wanted to talk about inspiration. Where do you get it and how do you get it? Where does it come from? This is me doing the things that inspire me. And as I did my inventory for stencils the other day, preparing for the release of the shipping of the new soap book, Secret Book of Soap Magic is what I called it. It's a 250-page book, no filler. I dislike filler in books, so I didn't write any filler. I started counting and looking over all my stencils, and I realized I have a lot of stencils that I never offered, like these that you see on the screen right now. And I haven't decided if I'm going to offer them, but I did put a few up if you want to go take a look and use the notify me button to let me know which ones you like the best and which ones you think you might want. And also because I'm not doing soap things, I'm putting these on cards. I'm making things to have surprises in each book that I'm going to send. And once those are sent, then all of them, then if you want to order this book, you'll have to go to Amazon. I'm making my life as simple as possible. And I realized a couple things, and yes, I'm going to get to the inspiration part, but I realized a couple things. I started making soap dough because I felt inadequate. I felt that I wasn't teaching well enough about how to make soap dough, so that I made it. But that's not what I wanted to do. I want to be creative and keep making new and more ideas. And over the last few years, I've seen people take my ideas and claim them as their own. And I don't mind being copied. To be sure, that is a consequence of sharing work. I don't mind being copied. What I mind is people building their business or their whole idea structure based on my ideas. And I was thinking about this and I was like, if I hadn't made soap dough, would embeds, the discs, all those things, all those tools that are now in our consciousness, would they be here? And that sort of began to bother me because I've gotten a lot of guff from people. And one of the parts is getting rid of all this stuff. You know, inspiration doesn't come when I'm bothered necessarily. So it's my job to get rid of all this in order to allow inspiration to come in. And if you've been following for any length of time, you see all the changes Sorcery Soap has gone through. Hocus Pocus crafts. I have a host of, mystical and magical things on my website. And I have a new pen name, Abigail Pierce Winters. And for those that don't know, I don't say this a lot, but it's a combination pen name for my sister and I who write and who have written 4 books. And in the past, I got tricked because I allowed myself to be tricked, let's put it that way, because, I shared a ton of things, ton of soaps and soap groups and everywhere when I first started making soap dough stuff because I was just delighted. I was like, what is this? This is so crazy. And people were asking me, how do you do that? What are you doing? So there was a mystery behind it. Not that I was trying to make it a mystery, but there was. And so when my first book came out, I just broke my website. I crashed the website and there's a lot of issues, but I sold a lot of books and I continue to sell a lot of books. Not as many as I did in the beginning or in certain parts in the last few years. And so that was a trick that I allowed myself. So when I released the pre-order for this book, which is the codex, all my books together, all my insights, all my soap understanding in one place. When I released it, I thought, oh, maybe I'll kill it again. Maybe I'll, because who doesn't want to feel a little bit of success, And it's reasonable. Oh, I'm grateful for every pre-order that I got. And those should be here in a few weeks, by the way. It takes a minute for them to get printed and shipped and all that, but they should be here in a few weeks. But when I weigh that against the idea of a sparkle or a dust mote of inspiration, one seems to outweigh the other one and tip the scales, but I can't really do that. I can't compare those two concepts. So I forget that inspiration comes on this little tiny flicker, the soft, maybe I wonder if thing. And it's not loud. It's not a brass band. It's just like the soft idea that I get right before I fall asleep. Oh, I wonder if I could do that one. And I wake up and I write them down. I write those notes down every single time because I will not remember. I know that. I've never remembered those things. My husband and I walk every day, and we start the walk out with a conversation or what we're musing on or what we're thinking about. And I go, "Do you remember that thing I said?" And he'll kind of remember it, but we forget the actual thing that we each said. And so, yeah, it's important to write those things down. And I have 4 books of those types of ideas written down. That's what I do every single day, and I'm very good at it. I have been collecting those, and I'm not great at it. I'm good at it, and I'm dedicated at it. And I collect those ideas, those little nuanced ideas, those little weirdo concepts. I wonder if, what about this? I'm very curious about the world, and not necessarily repetitive patterns like, you know, when I see people copy me, that just infuriates me. I don't mean copy, like, there's a delightful group of people that copy and then say it, that tell me. And I was like, oh, yes, I love that. That's so great. I'm so glad. And I give them support and accolades, and I'm very encouraging. But when people steal things, that's the part that galls me, because I try to be as forgiving and open as I possibly can, even when it doesn't come back to me. And to me, somehow there's that dance that you have to do in order to preserve the channel of inspiration. So, me stenciling, using all these stencils and making these cards, and right now I'm just practicing. I'm not really making anything. I'm just practicing, and I have these sort of new inks and stuff, and I'm trying to see how it all works on different papers and all this kind of stuff. But me doing this is my inspiration, and I just follow this little thing. It has nothing to do with writing, but then it does. It has everything to do with writing. And I just think it's really fun. Can I make movement? This is me telling another story with a silhouette. Can I make a perception of depth or any kind of movement? And some of these stencils that I've done, I'm really surprised at how interesting they are to me. They might not be interesting to you, but they are to me. And if you watch podcasts or video podcasts or listen to things, one of the things people are starting to say now is, oh, the new thing is to be authentic. I can't even. And I see these phrases washed, rinsed, repeated over and over and over. And when I first started making these videos, and my husband quit his job and came on board to help me with making soap dough and doing all these things, we really dedicated our life to it. I saw what other people were doing, and they were copying people like it. Oh, it even just, it's so cringe to say this, but they were copying people like Mr. Beast. And I saw them change and morph into these sort of golem-like creatures. And oh, they got millions of views, millions of followers. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. And, I look for people who are sincere and authentic and can just talk. And so I got equipment and I did all this and tried to do fancy videos and like what, better than what I was seeing. And you know what? I gave up. I even cut my hair because I just thought I should look a certain way. And I had to grow past all that. And then I get, what I get. And not everybody's going to like me or what I do. And that's cool. I'm trying to figure it out. And one of the things I discovered was that I have cultivated a connection to the unseen where I can channel inspiration. I could be inspired by being alive and bring new ideas to the table. And I've repeatedly done this over the years. I have 12 books that I've written. 12. And I have a lot of try and very little quit. And if I can keep moving forward, this is my plan, this is what I've been doing. If I can keep moving forward, it doesn't matter who copies me. Of course, it bothers, and I try not to look at it, but I don't know what's coming through all the time. But I don't look to people to do what they're doing. I look always for the inspiration, for what's going to get me moving, what's going to get me interested and curious. And telling stories is really one way that I like to do this, and I've told a lot of stories. Oh, most recently I got another 5-star review on Goodreads. Oh, there's only a couple, but oh, I can't even tell you how excited that is. For me, it's just, oh, my stomach just sort of gets all fluttery, and I'm like, oh, they judged me on my words and not my personality. That is awesome. On my art, on my words. So, yeah, I figure if I just keep moving forward, I don't know what I'm going to produce. I don't know what I'm going to create, but that's the plan. And if I don't make anybody else's life better, I make my life better because I'm more true and more authentic, more sincere. And I can't do it all the time. And what I mean is most people, what I've discovered is don't want to hear that from me. Hi, how are you? Good morning. That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And I can't believe it's taken me this long to learn that. But here on this channel, on this place, in my world, I can be as sincere and authentic as I can muster, as I can be honest with myself. And that's what I look for. And that's partly why I wrote the Misunderstood Magic series, with a sister series. Because I was so, at one point, desperate to find other sincere and authentic people. And that I wanted a place that I could go repeatedly and find that. So I made it. And you might know what I'm kind of talking about. But who doesn't love to find a friend who they want to see again and they want to be with again? So that's what I hope I create here. Thanks for listening.